It's Dee on the spot.
Welcome to another episode of DD on the Spot. As always, I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. Before I get to my guests here, I'd like to remind everyone to please like and subscribe down below if you enjoy this content. We greatly appreciate it. We have Matt Hogan's Sonic Assault. For those of you that haven't watched the previous video, they had just played a couple of songs live for us, and I highly recommend that you guys go and check that video out, and also go and check these guys out on all their platforms. We'll have all their links down below after this podcast. But Matt Hogan's Sonic Assault, how are you guys doing?
Good. Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So why don't you guys go around, introduce yourselves, and then sort of give us a brief history on what got you interested in music and what your influences are.
Well, go ahead and start.
You sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm J.R. McNeely. I'm the drummer. Been playing since I was 13, about 20-some years. Got into Kiss at the age of 5. That's really what got me into rock and roll. And then being a child of the 90s, all the alternative music and Bush and Nirvana, man, that's what kept us going. You know, so that was my biggest influences. And John Bonham, of course.
Graham Cornell, bass and backing vocals. Really, as far as influences go, there's far too many to list. I've been playing since I was 12, 13. Yeah, like, again, influences way too many. Genres all across the board. I couldn't even say. But yeah, pass it on to Matt here.
Matt Hogan, hey, what's up? So my influences like Lenny Kravitz, Eric Clapton, and Nirvana and STP, and my dad's country, so he's like a bluegrass, but then does country as well. So I kind of got that little mix with. That's how you got that whiskey song, and the Fighting Me as well. I believe, and my biggest influence, I mean, is me.
It's Matt Hogan.
It's me.
That's great. So how did this band come to be? How did you guys form?
Wow. Well, let's see.
It all starts with Matt.
I guess. Well, start out with I guess when I started out when I was 18 solo, and then I moved up. Then I got a band called the Matt Hogan Experience, is what it's first called. And then the guys I had, they left. They just couldn't do it. They couldn't do what I wanted to do. So so it became Matt Hogan again. And then later on down the road, I started just hiring guys to play for me. I'd give them the set list, and they'd show up and play. And then all of a sudden, you know, I meet Graham through another guy he was playing with, and took him from that dude. Seems like. So now we got Graham. Cornell here, and then Graham, you know, introduced me to JR.
Me and Graham's been playing together, 2 years?
Yeah.
And then finally getting to meet this guy, man. I've been trying to get a hold of him for 2 years now.
Yeah. So this is a new thing, you know, and now I've got a real formed band. So it's getting tighter. It's getting really good, great. And that's kind of what's going on. So,
And when it comes to the genre of music that you guys play, have you guys always played the same genre, or has it been a mix over the years?
Man, I love playing hip hop. Throwing hip hop in there.
so he likes throwing hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with Post Malone.
No diggity.
But
Yeah.
that's funny. But I like a lot of stuff. I like all genres of music too. I like hip hop a lot. Kind of grew up that way at first, it seems like. And then I got into more rock, and then got into more 90s, and then
We're all 90s kids, aren't we?
we're all
definitely,
90s.
Yeah.
Definitely 90s.
We all
Yeah.
grew up in that same genre.
Oh yeah. So yes,
And I think it meshes well. I think everybody brings their own style to it.
everybody's on style for sure.
Now, Graham, being the bass player, kind of the redheaded stepchild of the group, how are you able to? I didn't want to say anything. But being the bass player, what do you think is the most underappreciated role of the bass player in the band?
Underappreciated role.
That's a good question.
That is a good question. It's kind of a hard question because I've never really felt underappreciated. Well, in a couple of groups I have, not particularly this one.
Fine.
We have
Fine. What is the most underappreciated thing that the bassist feels usually from society?
From society.
He got deep.
Just
Yeah.
he did. Well, just general underappreciation. That's kind of
Yeah.
I mean, it's nobody generally cares. I
The
mean,
bass gets overlooked a lot, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
So are the drums.
Not me, buddy.
Yeah, sorry for such a vague answer, but yeah, I mean,
No problem. Yeah.
felt terribly underappreciated, but
Yeah, we have a lot of bass players on here, so I always like to ask them that question, and usually it's around the same answer too. So now JP with the drums. Do you feel any extra added pressure when you guys go on stage, especially being the drummer, that if you screw up, basically the whole band screws up because you're basically the backbone of the band when you carry the beat? Do you ever feel that extra added pressure?
I keep them in line.
Yeah, that pressure is what gets me going, man. I love it. It doesn't scare me a bit. And if I mess up, then it's just part of the song. There is no messing up. No, man, I don't get no pressure. In fact,
I didn't know that.
what?
Just part of the song.
Yeah, if I mess up, it's part of the song. It's there's no pressure. In fact, that's what drives me. I love that feeling when you get on stage and you guys get the goosebumps still, and you get excited and you get the butterflies, and it just makes it. Man, there's nothing like it. There's nothing better on this planet than being on stage.
I saved this question for later, but we kind of already walked right into it. One of the big questions we like to ask on this podcast is performing live, what that's like for you guys personally, and what does that mean to you? For you guys individually, you guys can each answer this question. What does performing live feel like for you, and what does that mean to you?
I'll tell you what it means. Performing live means to me, no matter if it's 6 people or 1,000 people, it always feels great to be on stage and perform in front of people. And that one person that comes will be that new fan, and that new fan becomes another new fan. And I see us all performing on big live stages, and we are going to be soon. And because we're just been announced to go national, so we're gonna be up and down the East Coast and performing our songs and being on this big stage and going big. That's where we're going. Big time.
That's great. That's great.
I always enjoy the smaller, intimate shows because you get to connect more, with individual people in the crowd. You can tell when they're getting into it, and sometimes they'll even come up, particularly with the smaller venues. They'll just
come up and hug on you. Or
exactly.
Stuff. Yeah. Like they'll literally thank you. Yeah. With the smaller venues.
Oh, yeah, the bigger stuff's fun too. Yeah. Always. Go ahead.
Well, I kind of answered this earlier, but there's no better feeling in the world.
Yeah.
When you're on that stage, you're in your zone. That's where I'm most comfortable at. Is because the funny thing is I don't feel like I'm being judged at all when I'm on stage. And it's probably the opposite because, everybody, especially other musicians, we're the worst for judging each other. But, man, I feel real lucky I'm with these guys, because it's feeling like we're like a small little family. And that's a big part of it,
Mm-hmm.
It's finding the guys that you actually mesh well with.
Yeah. What are your guys' pre-show traditions? We have a lot of bands come on here, and I like to ask them this. A lot of bands, they like to have a few beers ahead of time. They like to have a few shots. They like to stretch. Do you guys have any individual routines that you guys like to practice, or do you guys just wing it when you guys get to a venue?
3 shots, and then 2 beers.
3 shots, 2 beers. Mr. Big Stuff over there. Jeez.
Rockstar, man. That's rockstar status.
Do you find, Matt, do you find personally that you perform better while a little intoxicated than you do sober?
Yep. It calms me down.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It calms me down and really gets me into it.
Right.
To be honest. It really does.
Graham, do you drink at the shows? Not
really.
Yeah, I don't think you're.
I tend to be mentally mellow.
Yeah, well, we have to drive Matt around after the show, so.
Exactly. So, yeah.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. So we listened to some of your songs before this, and I'll have the video. It's in the link down below, and it'll be right next to this. But I really enjoyed your song "Whiskey." What was the inspiration behind that song?
Well, I was sitting around in the house, and I thought,
drinking whiskey,
drinking. Yeah, I did have a few shots. So I was sitting there, and I was just doing this little tune, and I started playing it, and I don't know. It's got a lot. All my songs are personal in a way, I guess. Some of them are. Most of them are. And whiskey kind of brought to me with me and my girlfriend now,
Right.
kind of feel. She loves it in the chorus. She always likes to kick her feet up, up on the dash and everything, and on the truck. So I was like, all right, and take a few shots every now and then on a good weekend, have a good time. So I thought, well, whiskey sounds good. Kicking your feet back, driving on the dirt road, So I thought, well, wow, this is kind of cool and good. So I start doing these lyrics, I start imagining this song up, and I'm singing it and everything. I start singing it. Well, funny thing is that I never wrote it. I put it in my head. Every little thing I did, I was putting it in my head, putting it in my head, kept going over and over it. And I had sang and done the song without even putting a pencil down.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's kind of how that went. And whiskey's I love whiskey.
I do too, man. I love it. I just get that feeling when we're playing it that song there needs to be heard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that. I was going to say that was my favorite out of all of them. But when you are coming up with your songs also, lyrically, do you like to explore similar themes, or do you like to spread it out and just explore a vast array of themes?
Pretty much. Yeah, I pretty much. Thank you.
Man, like the Fight Me, I think it's got one of those things. Someone like us, that you're never going to stop, no matter how many times someone tells you can't do it.
It's all different themes. The Fight Me is about me trying to make it. Our band trying to make it. And I will say that together. Matt Hogan, Sonic Assault. Sitting there fighting, and saying, "I'll never stop believing." I never stopped till the first degree. So yeah, that song's all about coming up, and the music video's got my son in it, and how I'm looking down at him. He's helping me fight more. So that's what that song's about. Whiskey's about me and my girl kicking it back and having a great time, and everybody around, bonfire, and just.
What about life?
And life. Life is about a little girl who died at the age of 5. She's the age of 3 and died at the age of 5. That's what life's about. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think life's about.
I didn't know.
Yeah, life is about a military man and a woman when it was MySpace. They had an article, so I wrote a song about it. A guy come in and his girlfriend, and the guy was beating a little girl, and the little girl was telling the father, "Please save me." And the father was in the military, and but the little girl was with her mom and a stepdad or whatever, boyfriend, and so he's beating her and stuff. And by the age of 5, she died. And so that's what that song's about. That's what life's about. I'm only 3. Don't rely on me. I'm only 5. I'm trying to stay alive.
You know what? Just real quick. When we play Life, man, I've told you this. It's one of my favorite songs. I got this connection. And I didn't realize it, man. My daughter died at 4 years old.
Yeah.
And this is about, man, that is, it just never really clicked on me. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So when you guys are also kind of on the stage and performing, do you guys ever have that singular moment that they always have cliched in all these music movies where the band is able to kind of look around and just enjoy what they're doing, or are you guys just laser focused on what you're doing?
Do y'all enjoy the moment? I know I do.
Yeah,
when you're
totally,
on stage,
yeah.
I love every second of it that I can get it.
How could you
And
not?
I can see it all over your faces.
Yeah,
You
man.
do.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
I think we're at an age now we can appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah, I remember doing it was, playing the high school prom.
Yeah.
500, 600 people.
It's more professional. You're older. You're fighting for it. You're fighting for something. And you got a family too, and you're fighting to support that family and do what you love doing.
I always wondered, does time seem to go by really quickly when you're performing, or does time seem to stand still, or is it a mixture of both?
That depends.
Yeah.
It depends what kind of show you're
It does.
having.
Right, yeah,
Very
it
much
does.
depends.
You might have a good crowd, and if you've got a really good crowd, the show's gonna fly by and it's over.
Yeah.
But if you've got a mixture, diverse crowd, and some this and that, you're just you're getting through it. You're like, man, I wish this crowd would really pick up.
Right. If they're just sitting around not paying no
So
attention.
then it's like taking forever.
Yeah.
You're trying to get them into it, and they're looking at you like, yeah, okay. But then when the show's over, they're like, wow, y'all were really good. I was like, really? I never heard the story from you. You just stood there and stared at me. I thought, man, I'm gonna suck. Let me try to pick another song because we do about 60 covers as well.
Oh,
so you're picking out songs, and you're doing the originals too. And the people just staring, looking at you. Just everybody's watching. You're thinking, "Wow, we suck."
Nobody's digging it.
This crowd don't like us. You know?
Now, this is for each one of you guys. What is your favorite cover song that you guys play?
Man,
I know.
You go ahead.
go ahead.
I wonder if "Touchdown and Peel" by Days of the New. That's a
great
good
one.
song.
Yeah.
Cover song.
Really, yeah.
That's a good cover song we do.
I like some of the STP stuff we do.
Yeah. Oh, how about Blue on Black?
Blue on Black's another one. We're learning Def Leppard song right now.
Yeah,
I think would be awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely pour some sugar on it.
Man in the Box is fun.
Man in the Box is great.
I love that song, yeah.
It helps that we all are into a lot of the same music, you know. If we could throw some Tupac in there, some Biggie, great.
Hey, Tupac's still alive.
Yep. You guys can bring the hologram on stage and everything.
That's right.
That
man.
would be awesome.
Yeah.
So, when you guys were first starting out, we love to hear first concert stories that you guys performed as a band. Where'd you guys play at, and how'd it go?
Was it the brewery?
What's that?
The first time we all three went.
Yeah, it was at the
was at
Brown
the-
Mountain Bottle Works.
Brown
Yeah.
Mountain Bottle.
There you go.
Brown Mountain
And
Bottle
that was a
Works here.
smooth show.
Yeah, in Morton,
It was
North Carolina.
good.
It was a good show.
Yeah.
It did really well.
We
I
did.
mean,
I thought it went great.
We're all professional. They followed
Yeah.
me, you know. And
We actually never played together before.
Yeah.
Oh, we were playing together.
We were
before
playing.
that.
We'd play together.
Yeah,
but,
we were doing
We
duos.
practiced
Yeah,
for like 2 hours one day, then that was it.
That
We
was
jumped right in
it.
it.
2 hours and jumped in.
Then we had some dude that come in there with a camera, a gigantic camera, was all up in our faces, taking
Yeah.
pictures. And it was crazy.
That's awesome. So, one of the things that I learned from starting this podcast out, I'm from the Minneapolis area, right in Minnesota, and I realized that Minnesota has a huge scene of metal music that I would have never guessed. You guys are from North Carolina. In your area, what would you say is the dominant genre of music?
Southern rock
You think?
in our area. Yeah.
And there's a lot of metal bands too. I guess
In our area.
yeah. There's a lot of metal.
I guess Southern rock, bluegrass, and metal. Really.
Do you
90s
guys-
is not really.
Yeah.
Do you guys find it hard, like starting out and kind of gaining popularity, knowing that you guys aren't really playing the main genre of music? Did you find that difficult?
Some,
It is tough. Yeah.
but with one, I wanted to come in with this group different. I wanted to come in with this band with it different than everybody else, and I got this total secret set list, surprise set list that nobody's doing, and it's rock, and it's going to blow everybody. It's going to blow everybody's minds. I promise. And it really is.
I'm glad we don't play what everyone else does.
Yeah,
you know?
I've watched
Yeah, that's a
everybody,
nice change.
and
Yeah.
everybody's
Very nice.
great around here. Everybody, I have a lot of respect for all musicians and local musicians and people around here. But I do have a special set list, and it's good. We're working on it now.
It's great. So now we're going to the most popular part of the podcast, the audience favorite, the 5 questions that I ask here. All these questions apply to each of you, so you guys can each answer these questions individually. For the first question, now, and I warn you guys, these are going to be some brain teasers. You guys are going to have to think about these for a while. But out of all the songs that have ever been written in the history of music, what is one song that you personally wish you'd come up with, and why?
Ooh, that's a good one.
One song personally.
Yeah, of all the songs ever written, what's one song you wish you would have written? And why?
Oh, I wish I would have written.
Stairway to Heaven's mine.
Yep, we've gotten that
I
before
don't-
for sure.
Yeah, to me, that's my favorite song in the world. Stairway. It takes me over.
Really?
Yeah.
I think what I wish I had written. I've said that before about some song.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Huh.
I think, and I've heard this come from me, I believe. I think that Lenny Kravitz, "Are You Going My Way?" I wish I had written that.
Oh yeah,
Yes, that's a great one.
I think that's a good one.
it is a great one.
That was
Yeah.
that was a big hit.
It was.
A huge hit. That was it looked like another Jimi Hendrix on stage on that song.
I think he even compared himself to Jimmy back then.
I think he
Lenny,
did.
yeah, I think he did.
I'll
What about
probably say Herbie Hancock's Vein Melter.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, it's something you don't hear
That's just-
much.
Yeah, exactly. I
Never know.
love hearing those ones that you don't hear that much. We have a lot of lists. That's Stairway to Heaven's 3rd time being mentioned on this podcast. And now for our second question, out of all the artists that have ever performed, dead or alive, you can pick either one. If each of you could perform on stage with any artist, who would it be and why? For one show.
One show. What'd you guys pick?
Who did I pick on stage with?
Yeah, Freddie Mercury's mine.
Great choice.
Yeah, I would. Fantastic.
Are you excited for that new bio movie that's coming out about him?
I know. I cannot wait to see it. I seen previews. Have y'all seen them?
Yeah, I saw the trailer. It looks really, really good.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
I'd say Jimi Hendrix.
Hendrix?
Yep. Hendrix. I love on stage with Hendrix.
Yeah, that'd be a great one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to say Gordon Sumner.
Gordon Sumner?
Sting.
Yeah.
Sting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So, third question. Out of all the venues on the planet, if you could perform live at any venue, where would you go?
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
That's...
Red Rocks.
Where?
Red Rocks.
Red Rocks. That's
Red
a beautiful
Rocks.
place,
Mhm.
man. Yeah.
Red Rocks.
Yeah.
I think that'd be mine.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I agree.
Madison Square Garden just jumps out at me, but yeah, that's a good one.
I can just say I have tallied up all the votes from all these that I've asked people. Red Rocks was ahead 9-8 on Madison Square Garden since both you guys voted on each of them. Now it's 10-9.
Wow.
Red Rocks still has the lead on Madison Square Garden. So it's getting close. Now we're getting to the real nitty-gritty. Now this is where we get bands to break up on the podcast. Guilty pleasure songs. What is a guilty pleasure song that you think the other guys in the band wouldn't know that you listen to and like?
Whitney Houston.
Guilty pleasure songs, man.
Pink. Yeah. What about you?
Y'all
I gotta admit, I gotta admit, I dig the Thompson Twins.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
What was that Bop song?
Hanson.
Hanson, there you go. Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know.
I'm a Barbie girl.
I would say. She said Whitney.
I like Whitney.
Yeah.
I loved Aretha.
What Whitney song is your favorite?
Cameo. There we go.
Oh yeah. What Whitney song?
Yeah.
If I told you, you'd really laugh harder.
It doesn't matter. I'm a Whitney fan too.
What was that one song? It was about getting cheated on. She sang it with two other girls back in the 90s. I'm almost about to start singing it. I gotta stop.
You should do it.
No.
Microphone.
Were you cheated on by two other girls? Is that what inspired you to like it?
No. She sung it with two other girls.
Oh.
I can't think of the name of the song right now, but it's one of my guilty pleasures.
I don't know one. I don't know.
No? Really?
I mean, back in the day, like Boys to Men.
Oh man, that's not guilty, dude.
No.
Boyz II Men was awesome.
I still use the song "I'll Make Love to You" as my for my sexy mix that I had back in college, so it still works. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Boys to Men. R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, yeah. Want to pee on you?
Yeah.
I liked R. Kelly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wait, no, that was who done
That's
that?
R. Kelly than mine.
Oh, when you said R. Kelly, that song "I'm Going to Pee on You." What's his name? Comedy Central did it. Y'all never heard that?
Yeah,
Dave Chappelle.
Now this is a new question. I normally have guilty pleasure genre, but I'm taking that one away because I thought of an even better one that I'll start out for the first time here. If there is one artist whose music you could permanently erase from existence and you could wipe everyone's mind of them ever having existed and all of their traces, what band would it be?
Wow.
I know one. My girlfriend killed me.
Who?
She'd kill me. She already knows. She already knows. But no, I wouldn't. One I would kill.
Erase. Wow, man, that's pretty deep, brother. That was gonna take a second.
Nickelback.
No, man, really? You know, a lot of people would say Creed. I love Creed. Yeah, Nickelback's awesome. We just got kicked off the being a rock star stage there. Yeah, people do not like Nickelback. What is it with that?
I don't get either. I mean, I like two of their songs, Rockstar and then How You Remind Me. I really like, but yeah, I don't get why there are plenty of worse bands that everyone should be hating on more than Nickelback for sure.
Like people turned on Creed back in the day,
Yeah.
and I thought Creed was an amazing
they
band.
did.
Yeah. Right. What was? Ooh.
Gosh, I don't know.
I don't either. I don't know if there is a band that I would completely wipe out.
Really? No Justin Bieber, no Selena Gomez or anything?
That's a good one, man. Justin Bieber, yeah.
Wipe him off. Kanye West.
That's a great Kanye. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about hip hop, but yeah.
I wouldn't think about all genres. But
Bruce Willis and his music career?
My kids went through a Justin Bieber phase.
Yep. I unfortunately grew up. I was in high school when he was like slowly starting to get popular, so I had to deal with all that BS. And yes, I can. That was really rough on everyone. So you were announcing right before I started this portion of the podcast. You announced that you had basically got in touch with someone and you guys are booking a tour. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, Kay Jackson is head of the. She's out of Louisiana, and with solo bookings. So she has called me up by phone and said, "Hey, you want to tour you want to go national?" Because I was looking for a booking, and they sent all my stuff. She sent all my stuff, and was really excited and wanted to say, "Hey, Matt, can we call you?" And I was like, "Sure." So then it just went from there, and I said, "Really, you can book me?" She said, "Man, I'll book you anywhere. I want to get you everywhere." So I was like, "All right, you're going to book me everywhere. That'd be great." Up and down the East Coast, so that's kind of what we're heading, and we may be heading to Alabama soon.
Oh, that's great.
That's going to be great
for our first show.
That's awesome. So are you guys working on any new material, or are you guys just getting ready for the tour?
Getting ready for the tour. Whiskey's a new song, and there's another new song that you have not heard, and it's called Dusty River.
Dusty River.
And so there's two new songs that are going to be added to the EP that is already done, and so that'll be my full album there, and then get the T-shirts, merch, and then kind of. So we're getting ready for national.
Oh, do you guys have merch available right now for people to go and get?
No, not yet. It
won't be much longer.
It won't be much longer.
Yeah.
Right.
We wanted to finish the two songs before we started that. So.
Oh, absolutely. So where can people find you guys? I know you announced before that you have most of your songs are on iTunes, Spotify, but or do you have it on that? And then where else can people find you?
Well, right now, with my I'm under a indie record label with Merbertson Records, out of Raleigh, but they're based out of New York. I got signed a couple years ago, and so I've been with them, and I've been on Spotify, iTunes, all media online. Find me. Now they're going through another distributor, so right now I'm on you can find me with at Matt Hogan Sonic Assault, without the apostrophe, it's just MattHoganSonicAssault.com. You find me there. That's our official webpage. And then also on YouTube, Matt Hogan. That's all you got to type in, and it pulls all of my stuff there. I've got two official music videos out, The Fight Me and Shock. Shock is the newest one that's out. It's a really good one. So basically, MattHoganSonicAssault.com will take you to the official site. And from there, you can it'll link you to Facebook and Instagram as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll leave all the links down for everything. Like you just said, I'll leave the links for all your music videos. Lastly, I like to ask people two final questions before we wrap this up with every guest. And this is for each of you guys as well. If someone were to run up to you on the street and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about starting this new band," what would be the best piece of advice that you could give that person in order for them to be successful?
Well,
find people you get along with. I think that's the biggest part.
It is the biggest part.
Yeah. If you can't get along, I mean, we pick on each other constantly, and it's a family. It's a business. It's a family.
Yeah, definitely. It's more important to be able to connect with your band members, because there's 50,000 good players and everything, and there's always players. But you got to find one. You got to find people that you can really work with, that they want to work with you. They have the same belief as you do. You know, I had a friend tell me, Matt, you believe in your music, but you got to get them to believe in you. And that's kind of where this took off, and people are starting to believe. So,
absolutely.
Someone you can with for 12 hours and not want to strangle them.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, and finally, if each of you guys could go back 5 years and talk to yourself 5 years ago, what would be the best musical advice that you could give yourself?
I wish I would have started on leads.
Yeah. I can see you doing that.
I wish I started on leads first.
Yeah. Me, I would be practice rudiments 8 hours a day instead of 4.
Oh, wow.
Well, I guess it would have been quit the day job and concentrate more.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Right on, absolutely. So, you guys, it's Matt Hogan, Sonic Assault. I highly recommend these guys. You guys can go and check out my previous video to go check these guys out live. They performed 3 songs for us. I think everyone will greatly enjoy. I'll leave the links down below, like I said, to all of their stuff, all of their songs and music. And we really appreciate having you guys on. It was an absolute blast watching you guys perform live. It was really a treat that I think everyone on my podcast will really enjoy. And do you guys have anything last to say before we wrap things up here?
Thank you for having us, man.
Hey, good job, guys.
Yeah.
Good job.
Good job.
Yeah, y'all did great. No, thank you for having us on, brother. This was awesome.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure. More than happy to. And if you guys have any of your merch or anything available, definitely give me a shout out let me know, and I'll give it a shout out on here, and I'll leave a link to where they can get your merch for your upcoming show or tour. If you have any shows, I have viewers from all over the country, so when you have all those dates set up, definitely send me a message on those as well, and I'll post those. I'm more than happy to help you guys out in any way, shape, and form, and I really want to see you guys be successful, and I'm really happy that you guys are really starting to take off with this new tour, and we really wish you nothing but the best.
Thanks, man.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ryan.
Absolutely.
Hey, good luck with the show, brother.
Oh,
Love
absolutely.
it.
Thank you so much. All right, everyone, this is DD on the Spot. Ryan Johnson signing out. Have a great night, everyone.
All right. Later, man.